everyone. Hope, as we always say, hope everyone's happy, healthy, successful, doing well in life. I- We want the best for everyone. Yeah. So I hope everyone's being successful and winning in life. I'm kind of. This one I might snap on this one. This might be, as you could just tell immediately now, the tone of my voice. I might lose it on this stream. So bear with me. Yeah, but we're going to speak the facts. We speak the truth. That's what we do here. That's why it's called the secret truth. We got the composition notebook out. But you know what? Fuck this. Yeah, I love this guy. But we don't need him tonight because we're going to talk about the European football results. Chelsea, Spursy, United, Arsenal. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Rangers hiring a new coach, which I called, by the way. Go check the timestamps. We're also going to talk about Bill Maher. We may not even get there. Yeah, we may not even get to the Bill Maher real time reaction. We might at the end quickly, but there's a lot of shit to talk about. But first, what I want to do is I want to shout out Jalen Brunson. And I don't want to just be Player FC. I want to shout out the Knicks for closing it out last night. Jalen Brunson with the Mario Ellie, the kiss of death, last night. The best Knicks game in years. Name me a better Knicks game that's happened in the last five to 10 years. I can't even think of one. I'm a little checked out of basketball. I only watch the Knicks in the playoffs. I haven't seen a single NBA basketball game, regular season wise. But I'll watch the Knicks when they're in the playoffs. That's the only time I watch. That's the only time I care, because that's when that's when it needs to be landed. But let's see. So shout out Brunson, shout out the Knicks. Big win last night. On to the Celtics. Let's see what happens. I would love it because we're gonna go in as the underdogs. I love that position. I'd love it if we beat the Celtics. I would fucking love it. Do I think it's gonna happen? Probably not, because let's have it right. The Knicks are as much fun as that win was last night, as cool as that was. We're serial ball jobs. So I don't expect to win. Now, you could prove me wrong. Shut me up. Just like with every other team. Just like with the U.S. men's national team. Shut me up and prove me wrong. I dare you. Now let's talk about European football. It looks like it's going to be Man United versus Spursy in the Europa League final. If Spursy win and qualify for the Champions League and finish 16th in the league, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. Like I know people throw this term around, generational head loss all around. I'm gonna snap if Spursy win Europa against United. They could be United because they're shit too. How did these two shit teams get to the final? And then Chelsea as well. They're going to be in the final too. Imagine that. this is it's good. It's getting wild at the business end of the season. It's getting wild. I'm not even paying attention to the NHL playoffs. I don't even know who won tonight. Winnipeg Jets or St. Louis Blues. I don't even know who won tonight. I threw my notebook because I'm just so angry. I might have to retrieve that in a little bit because I need some notes. Um, but let's talk about the European football. If Spursy win and lose 20 times in the league, what does that say about Enzo Maresca? What does that say about Mikel Arteta? What does that say about Clear Lake Capital and Blue Co. and Cronky Sports and Entertainment? Spursy winning a European trophy and qualifying for the Champions League and losing 20 times in the league and finishing 16th, and they're still in the Champions League. And Arsenal have no trophies and are only qualified for the Champions League. Who had the better season? Are you fucking kidding me? I can't. Just. I don't even want to think about it. It makes it. I'm rattled already. Straight out the gate, I'm rattled. The same thing with United. Like I don't hate United as much as other fans do, but I'm more of a. I just can't see Spursy winning. I would rather root for United, but I understand why people dislike United because of the Wenger Ferguson era. Yeah, of course that's when I started following football 20 years ago. I know what's going on, but for me, I would rather United win. I honestly would because that I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it if Spursy won. I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. So that's out the way. Shout out Jalen Brunson. Shout out the Knicks. I can only name one other player on the team, Towns. He was dog shit in that game. I only saw the last 2 minutes, to be fair, because I got home from work and he was crap. $45 million a year, he scored 10 points. How are we going to beat Boston with that? We'll see. All right, so yeah, Arsenal lose to PSG. What a terrible performance. And let's get more into what I've been seeing from this team, and it's the performances of the so-called elite players. The captain, Martin Odegaard. We'll get to Chelsea later too. The captain, Martin Odegaard. Gabriel Martinelli. Dropped stinkers. Both of them. Both. Odegaard was an all-time stinker. He had one pass completed in the first 30 minutes of the game. He was 1 for 1. So he also only attempted one pass. How do you attempt one pass in 30 minutes of football and you're the captain of the team and you're the creative spark, the attacking midfielder? He attempted one pass. One pass attempted and completed. One. You know what he was doing the whole time? He was hiding behind the referee. He was hiding behind PSG defenders. That's what he does. Just like my guy Lee Gunner says, he skips around and he does the flicks and he intentionally hides behind defensive players, so he can't receive the ball. He never goes to a place where he's available to receive a pass. He just purposely hides behind defenders. So he could say, "Oh, well, I was marked." Yeah, you were marked because you allowed yourself to be marked. You can see right through it. Any real fan can see right through it. Martinelli can't finish. He just can't fucking finish. What happened to this guy? Is it a little bit of the manager's tactical setup and instructions? Yeah, probably a little bit. But he also like this man in big games, this team never rises to the occasion. Never, ever. 3 years ago, playing Antonio Conte's the Spursy team, fucking Spursy, with the Champions League place on the line, lost 3-0. 8-point lead, balled it because we drew West Ham, Southampton, and then Liverpool consecutively. 3 consecutive draws derailed the whole season, torpedoed. Last season, Aston Villa, Unai Emery, ex-manager, lost 2-0 at home. Done. Biggest game of the year, done. Got done by Villa. Got done by Emery again. Not the first time he's done Arteta. He did it with Villarreal. Then this year, PSG at home, Luis Enrique, 1-0 loss. But according to the top Gooners, the Champions League was won when we beat Real Madrid. Real Madrid is in kind of they're in a I would say they're in the murky waters right now because Ancelotti's clearly leaving. Carlo Ancelotti, the manager, is clearly leaving at the end of the season. Are they checked out? Is the dressing room lost? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes at Real Madrid. I'm not as plugged in as I am with like South American football and in English football. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but it looks like something is going on behind the scenes at Real Madrid because their players are too good to be performing this poorly. They lost to Barcelona again. They choked in that game too. They were winning, choked. They're not going to win the league. They're going to go trophy. They won a trophy earlier in the season, but they're gonna. Barca's going to win the league. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but Ancelotti's clearly going. I don't know if the players have checked out. This is what I'm trying to get at. I don't know if the players have checked out. I don't know if there's something going on internally within the organization. Once again, the Madrid fans will know more than me, but I can tell something is going on behind the scenes because Arsenal beating Real Madrid 5-1 on aggregate is crazy. And then we got done by Luis Enrique's PSG. What phase is Luis Enrique in? What phase is Arne Slot in for Liverpool? They just clinched the league title. They already walked the league. It's already done. It's done already. What phase is Hansi Flick in Barcelona, already multiple trophies, Copa del Rey, win, final against Madrid, about to win the league, still on for the treble, still they're just tied 3-3 with Inter, Champions League semifinal. One leg left to go at the San Siro. Let's see what happens. What phase is Hansi Flick in? First year, first year, and a Barcelona that was in turmoil, that sacked multiple managers, different players, mad injuries. Someone tell me how Hansi Flick was able to do this. But then Arteta gets 6 years. Enzo Maresca is going to get multiple years. Look at what's happening with Chelsea. Like they played your garden. There's so many jokes to make. I can't even think of the right one to make it. The team. I love Sweden as a country. If you've ever been to Stockholm, you know. If you know, you know. Sweden is cool. Big up all the Swedish G's every time. Your garden. Come on. If they put, I lived in Florence for a long time, so I I want Fiorentina to win the Conference League, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Betis will go through, and then Betis versus Chelsea. I beg Betis just batter Chelsea. I beg. And I actually might not even need to beg. It might. I think it's fully gonna happen. Betis are for real. That's a real team right there. But selfishly I want Fiorentina to overturn, and it's at the Artemio Franchi in the second leg. We have a chance. We have a chance. We have a chance. We have more of a chance than Arsenal does. I tell you that right now. So now let's get into what's behind all this and the reason why I'm upset. Private equity ownership in sports. That's what's killing all these clubs. It's killing the spirit. It's killing the fans. It's killing like just the culture and the heritage of the entire team, and just the historically speaking, the global community of the club. American private equity consortiums are ruining football. Started with Arsenal. They're doing it with United. They're doing it with Chelsea. They're getting into it in other. What did I read the other day? They're doing it with other sports now too. It's just become. It's just a new way. They've discovered a new way to make money, and Iqbali said it. Uh, the the co-founder of Clear Lake Capital, Chelsea. It's an untapped market. It's like it's undervalued. So meaning that they see an asset. So it's like a spreadsheet for all these people. They see an asset that's undervalued, so they take over it, they pay for it, they pay they didn't even pay a premium. They got a discount of it because they dismissed Roman Abramovich wrongly just because of the Ukraine Russia situation. They dismissed him. And then now we have the Ticketmaster. Now they have a deal with Ticketmaster and Vivid Seats where they're pricing out all the fans. They don't give a shit about the season ticket holders. They're all getting priced out just so tourism and the rich, wealthy fans can come in, and that's all they care about. They care about fans that will pay top dollar for the seat, free market, do $500 in the club shop, buy $200 worth of concession, shit, sing a beer out. That's all they want. That's all they care about. The bottom line. Selling mo they found another loophole today. The loophole. They're selling, they sold the women's team, they sold the hotels, they're selling the car park, they're selling everything to themselves. And it's going down as revenue in the books. They know what they're doing. That's what I've said this before. They're they're savvy business people, and all they care about and winning doesn't matter. It's they see something. It's like anything else in life. It's like a stock market. You see a stock you think is going to increase in value, you buy low, and once it gets popular and there's high demand, you flip it. House, same thing. Any kind of asset, collectible, comic book, you see something, you'd be like, "Ooh, like, and if we wait a little while, I can flip this for a lot of money." That's what they get. The fans don't matter. The players, it doesn't matter what the players, who they are, where they're from. It doesn't get. They don't give a shit. And most importantly, they're just pissing all over the heritage and the ambition of the club of lifting trophies and being successful. That doesn't matter anymore. That's secondary to the financial model, which is I I mean, I'm American, but it's a very American thing to do, to say it's capitalism. It's what it is. And it's really tough to see, because the reason why I fell in love with football is I fell in love with football because it was like it was pure, it was real, like the community. It was a global community of working class blue collar people that wanted to have fun and have a good time, but also watch their team lift trophies and be successful. Now none of that matters. It's about merchandise. It's about posting, getting likes on social media. It's about like, I can't. It just makes me fucking sick. No one cares about winning anymore. If, if God damn, I'm trying to contain myself, people. I'm trying to contain myself because I might there might be a point in the stream where I just snap. Uh, but yeah, so there's the update from Europe. And then another thing I want to talk about is, like, we can get into Bill Maher in a little bit. We'll get into it in a little bit. But all right, let's the Rangers. So, which ties into the private equity shit, MSG Sports Corporation. Yeah, which also, let's pull it up. Let's fucking pull it up. Which somehow got out of bankruptcy because they got bailed out again. Fucking, I can't stand these. Yeah, James Dolan. Yeah, I hope you're listening to this. I hope you are. So they got bailed out of that. They were about to file from bankruptcy because the network, the television broadcast, was in severe debt. They were like $800 million in debt. No, MSG Corp bankruptcy. Yeah, here we go. Here he is. MSG Networks reaches deal to avoid bankruptcy, sets up potential sale to the Yes Network, which is the Yankees. The Steinbrenners own it, I believe. MSG Networks announced on Friday a deal with its lender, J.P. Morgan. Oh, yeah, they're always involved. And potentially pave the way for a merger with the Yes Network. Under the terms of the out of court debt restructuring, MSG Network, which carries the Knicks, Rangers, Islanders, Sabres, and Gotham FC, slashes a JP Morgan loan to 210 million for more than 10. So by pairing up with Yes and selling a part of the company to Yes, they slash like $700 million off their debt, which they still won't pay. They still won't pay that the rest of the 200 million. I guarantee you they won't. They'll find someone else to take it on. And why is JP Morgan always involved? It's always fucking JP Morgan, BlackRock, Vanguard. We could talk about there's one we could talk about too, which I'm gonna save for another episode. Yeah, look at the smile on this man's fucking face. Look at this shit. Can you see that? Look at the. I can't fucking stand this man. You've ruined New York sports. You. Since 1997, we've won fuck all, and this guy's laughing, chumming it up. Look at this guy. Fuck you. How does he? This guy's a billionaire. He inherited daddy's dollars. Let's have it right. He didn't build any empire. He just he the silver spoon right in his mouth. Yeah, he probably has a couple other things in his mouth too. You know what I'm saying? You know. So, and then he never pays any of his debts. He just runs the organization into the ground, embarrasses us, but he still makes money because the fan base is tapped. See, now I'm losing it. I'm losing it now. The fans are also equally at fault for what's happening here. Yeah, you see this guy? You see that guy? That's Wayne Gretzky. Yeah, the best hockey player of all time on the Rangers. Since he left the Rangers and retired, we haven't won fuck all. He wasn't even on the Stanley Cup winning team, but then he came to the Rangers. You know why? Because we were a pillar, original six organization. Now we're a joke. We have 2 Stanley Cups in 100 years. We've won 2 trophies in 100 years. The Vegas Golden Knights have been around for 8 years. 8 years. They have 1 Stanley Cup. 8 years, you know. And they've been to another final. They lost to the Capitals. 8 years, 1 Stanley Cup. 100 years, 2 Stanley Cups. Tampa Bay Lightning, 3 Stanley Cups in like 32 years. 32, I think. I think that's correct. 32 years, they have 3 Stanley Cups. In Florida, where they don't even care about hockey. New York Rangers 2 in 100 years. 2. And I'm supposed to rate these players. We hired another coach. It's like the 7th since I've been an adult. This is like the 10th coach we've had. It's not the coaching. It's not the players. It's not the general managers. MSG Corporation, MSG Sports, and Big Daddy Jimmy. You want to know what the real problem is? The Knicks haven't won since 1973. 52 years. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this shit. I really am. So we hired Mike Sullivan is actually a good hire though. I yeah, to get back on track. Mike Sullivan is a good coach, really good coach. He was our assistant coach, yeah. And then who sacked Mike Sullivan in this? Then what did he do? Head coach of Pittsburgh Penguins, back to back Stanley Cups. Who let Chris Knobloch go to Edmonton? It ain't the coaching. It's not the trainers. He sacked Jim Ramsey, our trainer, for like 40 years. Why? What did Jim Ramsey do wrong? He wasn't a yes man. That's why. Chris Knobloch goes to Edmonton. Yeah, our coach in Hartford for 5 years. Instead of promoting him, first year Edmonton Oilers Stanley Cup final, Game 7, lost. Took him to the Stanley Cup final. This year came back 0-2 down in the second round. Came back from 0-2, beat the Kings again. He was in our organization for years and years and years. But no, Gerard Gallant, Peter Laviolette, yes, man. When Peter Laviolette literally said, I don't go in the locker room anymore because then no one will listen to me. He said that. That's all you need to know. The head coach doesn't even go into the locker room after the game finishes. He just goes home. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? And we know who it is. We know. There he is. Yeah, that's him. That's the problem. And it's not just him, as I said before. It's not just him alone. It's MSG's sports corporation, the board as well. All of them. All these pricks. All these empty suit pieces of shit. Yeah, and Jim, you want to talk about? Well, yeah, we'll talk about that one too. Yeah, yeah, we're going to talk about that later this year. Oh yeah, that got swept right. It's not getting by the Bobby A. No, 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 no. We're going to talk about that. Who gave Emily Kaplan? I shouldn't even say that. I take that back. I shouldn't have even said that. Emily Kaplan, one of the best reporters out there, real one. I've said this before. Emily, Kevin Weeks, and who's my other favorite insider? Darren Drager. Cervelli, yeah, Cervelli is okay. Daily Face Off is a good website though. But my favorites are Weeksy, MCAP, and Drager. So yeah, so those three, they know what's going on, and I know what's going on. So on that note, I'm done. Sullivan is hired, which is a good hire. I wish we would have just promoted Knobloch, which I called 2 years ago. I got the receipts. That's what the purpose of this channel is for. I have the receipts. I said we should have hired him instead of hiring Laviolette. Um, Now that we can just do the Bill Maher and then we'll wrap up. But yeah, James, the bell tolls for thee. Look at that. I can't look at this picture anymore. I can't do it. Oh, I don't even need that. Actually, I know what happened. So Bill Maher had the monologue was it wasn't that good, but he had Cheech and Chong on, Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong. They made a new movie. I didn't even know that. I might have to check that out. Uh, but yeah, that interview was cool. And then the panel, go check out that interview. Actually, it's probably clipped up on his YouTube page, on Bill's YouTube page, the real time YouTube page. But let's talk about the manufacturing and like the tariff stuff, because like, they got into like the China manufacturing stuff with Apple. So let's have it right. I used to work for Apple for a long time, many years. Every Apple product is made in China. So anyone that gets on their high horse at Apple talking about that's the one thing I don't like about the Democrats. Like there's a lot of things I don't like about the Republicans. Let's have it right. Like both sides have their issues. The one thing I don't like about the Democrats is they get so the pomposity of, oh, we're the holier than thou attitude, where all their like, look at all the senators, representatives, any politician that's blue using an iPhone, and they're the first ones to like shit on manufacturing and then in China. Your phone was manufactured in China. Think about that. Everything, like all your products, your computer, your tablet, your television, your phone was made there. So they were talking about like the dependency on China that needs to stop, which I agree with. But also, if you want to mass produce things like this, let's talk about who is going to do that in America. I wish it was everything was an American made. Ideally, yes, I agree. But you think these Gen Zers, you think these teenagers and 20-year-olds are going to want to work in the factory making this? They all want to be 60% of them. There was a study that came out. Bill talked about it last week. 60% of them, their dream job is to be a TikTok influencer. Think about that. 60%, 60. That's what they want to do. They want to be an online content creator. You can build the plants, you can build all the power plants you want, all the manufacturing plants, you can have all the conveyor belts in the world. Who's gonna work them? Oh yeah, which they also get into. The robots. We're participating in our own demise. I'll say that again. We are actively participating in our own demise because once everything is automated, we're done. Amazon's already doing it. Walmart's already doing it. Amazon Fred, go to an Amazon warehouse overnight shift and see how many human beings are there. I bet you there's more robots than humans. Guaranteed. I'll bet everything on it. It's all automated. It's all AI. It's all machine based. And I think we talked about this before. We know we definitely have. It's not. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but what is a bad thing is we're becoming too reliant and dependent on it. Now, if we still had control over the situation, I would be cool with it. But it's getting to the point where we're just letting them run wild. And this is only 2025. In 10 years, imagine what's going to happen in 10 years. Imagine any teenager that's in high school right now, anyone that's in college right now. Imagine what's going to happen in 10 years. Where's the union blue collar workforce? It doesn't exist anymore. Everything is white collar jobs. And even those are going to be, why do you need a paralegal, yeah, when you have Chat GPT and they could just Chat GPT can write the memo. You're not printing out papers anymore. That shit, that doesn't matter. Everything is PDF. They'll produce the PDF. Paralegals are not going to exist. You're not going to need any like assembly line workers. It's going to be a lot of jobs are just going to be just poof, vanished. And that's that ain't good. That ain't good. And there's still time to stop it now, though, which is why we have to talk about it now. There's still time, but everyone is so distracted or lazy, and they won't do anything about it. Which I get, like people want to keep their house in order. They want to make sure their life is cool, and I respect that always. You do you, but I it, the people making decisions, the politicians, is what I'm saying. Instead of trying to be celebrities, we need politicians to start caring about the people and stop wanting to be celebrities, or they actually view themselves more as athletes where they want to win. It's not about making America a successful country or continuing the success or furthering something that's going well. Yeah. It's more about, I want to win this position so I can fuck over the other team. And that's what I get from that's what I got from like Tim Walz, and especially AOC is like that too. I know she has her fans. Um and I mean she's very similar to me. She's Puerto Rican from the Bronx. It's what I am. I should like her. But it seems to me that she wants to gain more authority and power only so that she can to like dunk on the other side. I want to fuck up the Republicans. And the Republicans are the same thing. Like you got there's so many batshit Republican uh, politicians in the House and the Senate. Whoa, it's the same thing. They want to own the libs. How about we actually have a conversation with each other and make America a better place to live and have everyone can have a decent life and not fall into this manufacturing AI foreign trade type thing. But no, it's all about winning. So you could say, "Fuck you, we won." It's like a sweet. It's literally just like a playground sports game. Uh, and then the last thing, there's a one we'll wrap up after this. One last thing, Bill was talking about in the editorial, another great editorial where he was talking about, um, I think he was talking about how it was like a gender thing. It was how women keep complaining about how bad things are, but they're also the ones contributing, like I said before, to their own demise. Like look at OnlyFans. So you want someone to respect you and like value you as a human being with dignity and and admiration. That's the word I was looking for. But you the most money is made is in this content, which is fair. I've said this before. You make your money the way you want. You want to make your money. You do you. I'm all for it. All good. I respect, like I support it, but I can still exercise my right to disagree with the method in which you do it. I'm not a fan of it. Now you can do it. I'm not stopping you from doing it. And yeah, go get your money. Do your thing. You do whatever you want to do, and I support it a million times over. But I can still say, that's not the type of character I want to be with. So I think that's what he was talking about there. It's it's like we revere things like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and like Love is Blind. Bill was talking about Love is Blind, where the girl left her she left him at the altar. They were literally had the wedding planned. They were all dressed up. She had the gown on, the bride's gown on, and she left him because of he wasn't supportive of the BLM movement when he revealed that to her, and he was just like, I'm not against it, but I don't really care to support it either. I'm just indifferent." He was indifferent to it, so she left him at the altar. Well, you can say that's that could be scripted. That's what I would think. It could be scripted by the producers of the show, but there is a nugget of truth in there where like and Bill said love is woke instead of love is blind. I don't agree with like that. I don't really fully agree with, even though it's rare when I disagree with Bill Maher, except we all know the one major thing I just disagree with him, wrestling. Um, but yeah, they were just talking about how women have these ridiculous standards, but then they'll do explicit content and they make tens of millions. They're people. They're not just making chump change. They're making tens of millions of dollars doing this. I mean, so what do you want? What really do you want out of life? That's the question I'll pose. All right, you can leave it in the comments. I think we're done. I try to keep myself in check for a little bit, but it was hard. That's why this one was probably a little. I was just trying not to get angry because I can't be screaming outside. It's fucking midnight. Do I want to scream? Yeah, I do, but I can't disturb anyone. See, I actually think about the lives of other people, whereas we got other politicians in this world that don't give a shit. They're only in it for themselves and to grow their brand and to raise their profile. It's like I said, they're celebrities. They want to be celebrities now. But anyway, we'll move. All right. All right, people. Like I always say, I hope everyone's happy, healthy, successful, doing well, winning in life. We're out. I'll see you next Friday. Salut.